Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and there's so much. I woke up this morning and there's so much going on, it's kind of crazy. But that's because I feel like we have finally arrived at the, back in 2017, 18, 19, there was a saying that was going on while everything was being built and I think prototyped, like cartoon monkeys and all that stuff. I think they were prototyping real world asset tokenization. There was a phrase that was going around at the time, trickle, trickle, then flood. I think that we're entering the flood stage right now. And that includes XRP yields and a lot of other things. But I think we're entering the flood stage. I think the prototyping is done. So towards the end of this, or probably in the group, we're going to talk about the trickle, trickle, flood and some of the things going on. But I've just got so much, I'm just going to have to break the video up. If you want to join the group, go to daixrp.com to join through the Patreon, or you can click the join button below any of these YouTube videos, or you can go to X and click the subscribe button on my X profile. So check this out. New strain of mobile spyware dubbed Spark Kitty has infiltrated App Store and Google Play, posing as crypto-themed and modded apps to stealthily extract images targeting photos of seed phrases and wallet credentials. Now, folks, you probably don't need to be told this at this point, but never take a picture of your seed phrase. That's your 24 phrases and all that. Don't do that. I'm of the opinion, and I outlined it here, I want everybody to have the option of self-custody, and I think that everybody's going to have that option, but that's not where this industry is going, folks. The big money that's coming is not going to be playing the 24 seed phrase game. For this industry to scale, the game will be institutional custody. The right to self-custody should always remain, but it won't be where the big players put their crypto and tokenized assets. Now, I've told you what I've got now is I have for years, probably since 2018 or 19, I've had IRAs through iTrustCapital, who's my partner, and they've been a long time sponsor, but they just opened up their premium custody accounts, and I sent my XRP. They've now got it where you can send your XRP in to the accounts, and these guys are cutting edge. Their website is probably the best website in crypto and the most user-friendly website in crypto. But I wanted to drive a point home about the reason. I mean, I don't worry about my crypto at all anymore. But for years, I just didn't sleep well. But now I do, because I've got all of it in institutional custody. And I want to make a point here. The iTrustCapital started as just IRAs. Now they've got the premium custody account, but the rollover IRAs or 401k rollovers into the iTrustCapital IRA, that is massive, but it's illustrative of the fact that self-custody is not where this industry is going. Just imagine someone telling you, hey, I rolled over my 401k into a hard wallet. You're not going to hear that ever, because they're going to require institutional custody. Big money and sophisticated investors are not going to have all their crypto and tokenized real world assets on a freaking, I'm not going to use anybody as an example, but on a hard wallet. It's not happening. You might have some individuals who are early to crypto that might still want to do that, but it's not where this industry is going. Here's how a 401k rollover, how you can do it at iTrustCapital, and just there's no way on the planet Earth that these type of investors are going to put their retirement funds on a hard wallet. It's not going to happen. But here's how iTrustCapital works. You can, if you've lost your job or you're retired, you can roll a 401k in whole or in part to iTrustCapital. Then you have access to all the different digital assets. We know Solana staking's coming and others. I don't know which others, but when they roll it in, not only can they buy crypto, but they're going to be able to stake. There's going to be other products and services. And they also have gold and silver if you want to allocate some to gold and silver.
Wondering how to initiate a 401k rollover? Your first step is create an iTrustCapital account. This will begin your application process. After you've selected your account type, you'll need to select your funding method. Select Rollover and continue to fill out the application with all necessary information. Here you will select your plan administrator and account type from the drop-down menus. Next, you'll select whether the account is with your current employer. Then you will indicate how much you wish to roll over into your new IRA. Now that your application has been submitted, you'll need to reach out to your current plan administrator to initiate the rollover to complete the process. Check your email inbox for rollover instructions. This email will have all the necessary information for when you contact your current 401k administrator to initiate your rollover request. You may also locate your rollover instructions by selecting your account and clicking Funding Instructions. We'll email you when your money has been received and your new IRA account is funded. Rollovers will usually take anywhere from 5 to 10 business days. Keep in mind, most 401k administrators will provide a physical check, which slows down the funding process. If you have not received an email confirmation from iTrustCapital that your account has been funded, you should contact your old 401k administrator to confirm your funds have been sent. If you have additional questions or need assistance, do not hesitate to contact us through our support page or give us a call. Our team is here to help.
There you go. Now, if you want to get started with either kind of account, an IRA or a premium custody account, all you have to do is go to they created a special website for myself and Digital Perspectives. Go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army and you can get going. We keep on showing this because I feel like this whole industry blasting off, the flood part is imminent. And so you need to be positioned appropriately and in the right place. iTrustCapital has been the right place for me for years. And I know them. I know the founders. I know all of them. Not all of them, but I know the guys that started the company. I know what kind of people they are. And ironically, I trust them. Okay. So the market picked right on back up. Let's look at what all's been going on yesterday. After all the fear and all the stuff, Donald Trump announced that there's a total ceasefire with Israel and Iran and the United States with this tweet. And then Israel, apparently right after he announced it, or right during, Israel either killed somebody over there or whatever. But Trump was not happy. There's some language here, but you got to hear it.
Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
He's pissed. And then he had tweeted this out: Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it's a major violation. Bring your pilots home now. So then we've got this, folks. I went to Grok because XRP yield is coming. I think you're going to have XRP yield wars. People are going to be fighting to provide the better yield. What I would say to that, I'm not going to judge any particular company that's doing this, but what I would say to that is the most important thing when people start talking to you about getting yield on your XRP is, where's your XRP going to be? What I'm looking for is to have my XRP in institutional custody, and then it stays safe and I get a yield even though it's sitting there safely. In some instances, you have to pledge your XRP or lock it up and all that stuff. I'm just sitting and watching and waiting. XRP yield is coming. It'll be huge. I went to Grok to see what are the yields that are being talked about right now. It says recent discussions on X and web sources indicate XRP yield opportunities. Here's one through Doppler Finance and upholds collaboration with Flare Network. They're targeting annual percentage yields in the range of 3 to 8.7%. Specifically, Doppler Fi has mentioned yields up to 4.5% APY. And again, I don't know what any of these people are doing. I don't know how you have to commit your XRP. I'm waiting for the mega safe yield situation myself. Let's see, with some posts suggesting potential up to 8.7% APY. More Markets, another platform, is targeted up to 5% APY. General sentiment on X suggests yields around 3 to 4.5% are realistic, with some users expressing skepticism about higher projections and hoping at least 3%. Web sources also highlight platforms like MEXC offer up to 6% on smaller XRP deposits, while larger may yield as low as 0.45. Centralized platforms like Nexo and Binance offer 5 to 12%. See, I would say this, folks. I don't care what it is. Anytime you're hearing about a yield over, say, 8%, you should start being skeptical and really look at what you're getting into. That's my experience in finance, talking right there. Here's Charles Hoskinson talking about how he is going to help XRP holders get yield.
I'd love for Cardano Midnight to be the DeFi layer of the XRP ecosystem, so they can stay and continue to be XRP, but then they can get much better yields for their holders and for Ripple itself, the company that created XRP.
Imagine how much yield Ripple as a company could get. Now, I've been saying this for a while. The way you've seen the crypto market all these years is about to change. Regulations are going to literally relegate all the garbage digital assets to being like, if they are allowed to survive, that is, they'll be like penny stocks. And then what's going to happen is Wall Street, I'm telling you, they're going to focus in on maybe up to 30 digital assets, and those will be designated as blue chips. And if you're designated as a blue chip and you're designated as an American blue chip, you are in the driver's seat. The number one American blue chip is XRP, folks. So here is why am I drawing a blank on his name? Maybe I'll think of it while he's talking, but it's one of the congressmen. He's talking about this.
The meme coin phenomena is ultimately a decision taken by the SEC under Chairman Gensler, not solely
and Jay
Chairman
Clayton.
Gensler, but it was a decision taken at that time, deeming that they weren't securities, that they were non-security tokens, and it prompted a major issuance of things like meme coins. In my view, the Clarity Act would go a long way to, cleaning up that side of the market.
The SEC, from Jay Clayton to Gary Gensler, is responsible for letting all of that stuff go. It's at their feet. Okay, everybody's talking about it. Arthur Britto, for the first time in 14 years, tweeted a picture of an emoji face with no mouth. David Schwartz says, I can confirm this is not a hack or a compromise. Well, this is what I believe. My money's on Britto post relating to NDAs expiring. Arthur Britto's return after 14 years is the biggest sign that something's very, very big is about to happen for XRP. Remember, there are 1,700 NDAs pending disclosure. XRP will dominate global finance. It was created for that. People are still distracted by memes and Bitcoin. Bingo. We've been talking about it for years. I wanted to give you a little reminder. Here are some of Arthur Britto's most famous lines. This is from, was this the Bitcoin Talk forums? I can't remember where this is coming from, but The XRP ledger needs to be able to scale to serve 7.5 billion people. And here's another one that fewer people have seen, and that is the wiki has old stuff, current stuff, future stuff, and mistakes. I believe Ripple will eventually support bonds and bond markets. I mean, that right there is massive. And you're really seeing that happen right now, too. Eleanor Tarrant had tweeted this out. The Fed says it's scrapping reputational risk as a factor in how it supervises banks. In a memo released today, the central bank says it will remove the term, which lawmakers credit with playing a major role in debanking of crypto firms and other businesses, from exam manuals, and train examiners to focus on specific financial risks. Instead, my bank debanked me because I was buying crypto, closed 2 of my accounts. So I know all too well what happened. Now look at this from Smoke. He's on fire as usual. There will be a supply shock for XRP before Bitcoin. Bitcoin should reach its max supply of 21 million units in approximately 2140. And XRP should reach its max supply in the next few years. This is from Wisdom Tree Insight. And my eyes are not good enough to read that, I don't think. But you see his quote from the article right there. Man, getting old's not for sissies, folks. And then we've got this U.S. This is also massive. You can see the flood part coming, folks. So imagine sitting there with your XRP. You're getting yield, but you also have an option here. Look at this. U.S. Director of Federal Housing Finance Agency Bill Pulte says the agency is looking to explore how cryptocurrency holdings could count towards mortgage qualification requirements. In other words, they could literally snapshot your holdings on the blockchain. If you could prove it, you could get a mortgage based on that. That is a freaking game changer. And we'll end here. I put this was out of, there's the scale to, let me see if there was anything I wanted to show you here. Ledger needs to scale. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the same thing I showed you earlier. Well, we'll go into the group. We're going to talk about trickle, and flood. It'll be all of a sudden, folks, I believe. Go to daixrp.com if you want to join the Patreon. Click join below any of these YouTube videos if you'd rather join through YouTube. Or you can subscribe through X on my X profile. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. The flood is here. Here we go.